Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Waking Forest by Alyssa Wees. This is a fantasy. I did enjoy this book to a degree. It was well written and the plot and the storyline were interesting. It's just not a book I would normally read. There was a lot of mystery and suspense in the book, but not nearly as much action as I would like to have in a story. So our main female character's name is Rhea. She lives in a two-story or three-story house with her mom and her dad and her sisters, and everything's fine and dandy, and she has a pet fox that follows her around, except she has terrible nightmares. She sleepwalks and she hallucinates. So she will have a dream about something up in the attic, and she'll wake up in front of the attic door, not going in it. Or she'll be walking around the neighborhood and she'll see people, and then all of a sudden their faces sag or get all weird or get creepy. Stuff isn't what they seem. And it even gets to the point where her sister's faces start to get deformed and weird, or her parents' face. And it's just something she deals with. And one of her sisters is kind of crazy and rocks back and forth and hides in closets and stabs people in the chest with needles. Their family's kind of messed up, right? On the outside, it looks like they have a nice, perfect, loving family. And then you get a couple chapters in and you're just what the heck is going on? So you actually bounce between two different kind of stories or points of view. So you'll read a chapter and it'll be about a witch who lives in the forest, and she grants wishes to kids who come to her, and you'll follow her, like I said, for a chapter. And then the next chapter you follow Rhea and what's going on with her in her life. And then you go back to the witch in the forest, who's now friends with a fox that's not a fox, that's actually a boy, that's telling her stories about a princess who ran away from her castle because she was magical and the king didn't want any magical beings there. So you're bouncing back and forth between these two. And Rhea decides that she's going to go sleep in the attic because maybe if she sleeps in the attic, she won't sleepwalk to get to the attic because she's already there. When she does this, she's laying in her made-up bed or sleeping bag, whatever, in the attic, and lights are off. She has her fox with her, and all of a sudden she starts to hear a boy talking in the attic, in the dark. She can't see him. She can see him, or she can't see his face, the details. She can see his outlining and his form or figure, but she can't see any detail. She senses, or she has that instinct, that gut feeling that she knows him. He seems or feels familiar. He tells her, Rumpelstiltskin style, that if she can guess his name or says his name, he will lift the curse from her. Now her thinking the curse is the sleepwalking, the hallucinations, the bad dreams. So he's saying he'll lift the curse, and she's kind of WTF, and runs out of the attic screaming, crying, goes and sleeps on the beach way outside of the house. She's dealing with that. Not only that, she's also dealing with the hallucinations of standing at her house and a forest will appear out of nowhere, and then it will disappear or collapse on itself. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Rhea where she's just not understanding what's going on. She decides that she's going to kind of work with the boy to lift the curse because her sisters start disappearing one by one. Or not just her sisters, one by one her whole family starts to disappear. So she's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. She knows something is not right with her, with the world, something's going on. Okay, now if you don't want any kind of spoilers, you could probably just stop it here and be done. This next part might be spoilers, so thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, you're still here? Okay. So after a certain point, Rhea figures out, like, she's living in a dream. Not only is she living in a dream, she's living a dream within a dream. So there's like some crazy Inception stuff going on. I have not watched Inception, by the way, but I know there's like a dream within a dream because of some South Park episode I watched before. So she wakes up from the one dream to get to the next dream, to wake up from that dream, to go into her real world, which is actually like a fantasy world where there's like sphinxes and nymphs and griffins and gorgons, whatever. There's like a lot of magical, mythical creatures. She finds out she's the princess that's also the witch that was living in the forest or sleeping in the forest. Her dad is like the crown prince. Her grandpa's the king, who's just evil and been killing people to take powers. So she has to go with the guy who was the fox, but not a fox, right? Well, the guy who's the fox and not the fox, is actually being held captive by her grandpa, the king, in the castle that she has to go to. And like everyone that was, like all her sisters that were in the dream were actually her like mythical friends from the forest. So like the nymph and the gorgon or grogan, whatever, and like her fox was actually like another person whose name is like Gabrielle. So it's like everybody who was in her dream, within her dream, was actually sleeping at some point and went into her dream to like keep her company and like be friends and family with her. I don't know. It's kind of wild. It's like realistically in her real world, she was only sleeping for about a month, but a lot happened in her. I mean, she lived for like 18 years in her dream. You know what I mean? I don't know. So there's a lot going on. And there was a part where I was just like, what the heck is this? Like, I got confused at a point, which I listened to the audiobook, and the audiobook, the narrator is really good, right? I definitely think this is something for a young adult more than an adult. Personally, that's just like a personal opinion. Like I said, it's not something I would normally read. I still thought it was pretty good. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying, like, for my personal taste and what I like to read, it was not something I would read, nor is it something I would read again. I would recommend it for somebody who was kind of looking for something in this specific niche, though, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.